and welcome back to another episode of the Never Worst podcast. I'm your host, Tom Brown, joined as always by my brother Jack on these Friday mornings to talk baseball. Jack, we're halfway through September here, and things are coming into shape. I texted you the other day that for the first time I was watching Big Inning on MLB
Mm,
TV, and Matt Yeloff said the word magic number.
Great. Great to hear it.
It's but that brought me to what do the standings look like? And there's some good stuff going on. We're gonna get to a lot of it, but we'll start with there have been some injuries for some contenders in the past week.
Yep.
Uh, Starting in the AL East, Bo Bichette is on the IL with the knee sprain. So that is probably the closest race where someone's injured. Oh, well, no, that's not true. We'll get to the closest race. Excuse me, race. But should the Blue Jays worry about the top spot in the AL East, or do you think they're in a good spot and are just better than the Red Sox and the Yankees right now?
I don't know that. Aaron Judge homered twice yesterday and looks like he's about to break out. And the scariest part about a hot Aaron Judge is a hot Aaron Judge can carry a team well past any division rival.
Yeah.
I saw him hit those two homers yesterday and I just went, oh no. If he has, if he goes on a tear the last 3.5 weeks of the season, then your wild card series is being played at Yankee Stadium, and I don't want that to happen. Although it's a big weekend for that, a big weekend to swing the tide in that regard. And luckily, it lines up with the top three in the rotation going for the Red Sox. But to answer your question, no, I don't think the Blue Jays are that much better than the Yankees and the Red Sox. However, I think them being 3 games up is going to be a huge factor because there's not a lot of time to make up 3 games.
Yeah, the one thing that anyone has going for them is they load the end of the season up with division games.
Mhm.
But for the Blue Jays, they play the Orioles, they play the Rays, Royals, Red Sox, Rays to end the season. So that's all around. The Red Sox are good, but around 500 team or bad teams
The
otherwise.
Rays are hot though. Like nobody wants to
Yeah,
play the Rays right now.
yeah, and so they'll play one series in Tampa and then one series they close the season in Toronto. I Three at this point is a lot, but it's actually not crazy. The thing for me is,
No.
do the Yankees have the pitching to overcome to make up 4 games to get that win? I don't know who
Mhm.
owns the tiebreaker. That would actually matter, but
The Red Sox do. They have them. They've already
oh
won
yeah, I
the
was talking
season
about the
series.
with the
Oh,
Jays.
oh.
Um, but so both the Red Sox would have to make up 4.5 games, and the Yankees would have to make up 4 games to overtake the Jays. And I don't know if the Yankees have the pitching, and I don't know honestly if the Red Sox have the bats to just make up that ground in this amount of time.
That Roman Anthony injury couldn't have happened at a worse time.
Right. Seriously. And then you look at this. I mean, this wasn't where I wanted to go right now, but still, you look at the Red Sox. Wilyer Abreu or does he still lead the team in homers, or did Trevor
No,
Story
Trevor
overtake
Story
him?
has it. Trevor Story leads the
Yeah.
team and everything.
So, not to harp on something that happened a long time ago, but it would be nice to have a 30 homer, 100 RBI guy in the middle of that lineup.
I mean, they've had a few come and go since that Mookie trade too. So,
Oh, I was talking about the one that they traded away this year.
oh, Devers
Yeah.
found his stride in San Francisco. They're not playing well, but he is hitting. Yeah, I mean, listen, they worry me in their offensive. output, especially over this kind of cold streak. It helped playing in Sacramento to play the Triple A's, but um, I mean, I they scored some runs. That's like a ballpark that the ball kind of flies out of, but yeah, I worry about their bats. But you're right about the Yankees pitching. Like at the beginning of the year, if you told me September 12th, 13th, and 14th, your pitching matchups were going to be Luis Heel, Max Fried, and somebody else, I'd be worried about a race, but not with how well Giolito, Bayo, and Crochet are pitching right now.
Yeah. Freed has been like he started off super hot.
He's still having a good year.
Yeah, no, I know. I was gonna say started pitching poorly in the middle of the year, but has kind of found it again.
Yep.
But Rodon is hit or miss. Luis Heel was injured and just hasn't been his normal self. And then it's just what Yarborough and another rookie or a rookie out
Warren.
there. Yeah, yeah, Will Warren.
Will Warren is going against Crochet on Sunday. That is the most um, lopsided matchup of the weekend. But
Yeah,
I mean,
that's thank
Rodon
God for the
Rodon
split
has
screen on
been
YouTube
pretty
TV.
solid. I mean, he's 16-8 with a 3.11 ERA and 186 strikeouts. So he's been solid this year.
Yeah, but on
But my
any
biggest
day he
fear,
could just not find the plate.
yeah, sure. I mean, my biggest fear though is um Aaron Judge just takes over the weekend because he's on fire. And
Yeah.
that can happen.
You know what I'm worried about? Oh yeah, well, I guess I was wrong about Rodon. Okay, I'll admit that. Um, at this point in the season, Yankees coming into Fenway Park in September. Sure, Judge is Judge, but for me, it's Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, it's always been.
It
He's your modern day Gary Sheffield.
just, yeah, the guy. Well, we ended up talking now about what we were going to talk about at the end of the podcast, but uh, yeah, so the let's keep going with the injuries. Trey Turner and Alec Boehm were hurt for the Phillies, but the Phillies just swelled their lead in the NL East to 11 games, so they're
That sucks
okay.
for them. I like both of those players a lot, but I mean, Kyle Schwarber has 50 home runs, and I think people are going to look back when Kyle Schwarber's career is over, and it is going to be one of, if not the most confusing careers of all time. He does not have a high WAR, but he hits 40 to 50 homers every year. And talk about a Gary Sheffield, Giancarlo type. Nobody wants to see Kyle Schwarber on the line in the at bat with the game on the line in the seventh, eighth, or ninth inning. Like he is. I don't want to say he's probably a scarier lefty to face than Shohei Ohtani, but he's up there. Like it is 50 homers is nothing to nothing to laugh at, and he's just consistently been a good power guy for a long time. Like him and Eugenio Suarez, when they retire, just going to be like, they had how many home runs?
Yeah, he's 32. Um, as of now, he has 334. He, yeah, honestly, if he just played first base, he'd probably already have like 6 WAR
Yeah, oh,
because he's
definitely.
just DH. Um, he he won't win the MVP because he's in the league with a better DH that also pitches. But yeah, he's a monster. I agree with his career thing because it's you watch him and you're like, this is a guy that like knows the strike zone. Remember in 2016 to get back for the Cubs, he tracked. They said he tracked like 2,500 pitches over the course of his rehab. He would just sit and stand in the box because he couldn't move on a torn ACL and track the pitches. Um,
I will say, I mean, Tristan Casas has mental at bats, and everybody's like, what a weirdo. Kyle Schwarber does it. Everybody's like, oh, he tracked those pitches.
but then he hit 50 home runs.
I know I was gonna say the results kind of speak for themselves at 240, 50 homers, and 123 RBIs.
Yeah. So, but the injury is a hamstring for, well, the reason Turner is notable, he was probably going to come in third place in the National League MVP voting,
Yeah,
but now might not.
getcha. I know it
Um,
stinks.
so actually, I think he's fall. Oh no, I was trying to find him because I saw Shohei's name on the top of the WAR leaderboards on Fangraphs. I was like, oh God, did he fall out of qualified already? No, he's above Shohei.
Oh
He
wow.
leads the National League in WAR. 305, 356, 458.
Dang.
36 steals.
Sorry, I know we're talking about Trey Turner, but I'm just on Kyle Schwarber's baseball reference page, and in 2023, he went 197 with 47 homers and 104 RBIs with an under one WAR. Like I know we talked about it that year. That is crazy.
Yeah. Um, so, but if you go to baseball reference WAR, Trey Turner's eighth in the league. It's wow, it's so strange how different they are. Uh, but a hamstring, and they're not going to. Oh, I guess that's still up. If they'll get a bye, is still up in the air. They have 87 wins, and the Dodgers have 82. So they have a 5 game lead over the Dodgers. So that's looking good for them
Yeah.
to get that bye. So it's an extra break for him. He could easily be back for the divisional round. Just hurts his game if he's slow because that's what he does. He leads off. Well, he doesn't lead off for the team. Schwarber does.
Yeah.
Uh,
But still a base stealing threat.
yep. And then the Cubs, Kyle Tucker, calf strain on the IL. He was incredible to start the season. Broke his finger and struggled after the All-Star break, but that must have
Yeah.
healed because then he started crushing again.
Yep.
They are kind of in the same boat as the Phillies, but in the wild card, they're just way up. Um, they have a they have a better record than the Dodgers. So,
Yeah. I would say they're not in the same boat as the Phillies because the Phillies have four more wins than them. Or
oh,
excuse me, five more wins, but
I meant in the sense that they're going to make the playoffs.
oh yeah, okay, okay.
So
Yeah.
if he just comes back, he like basically rests these last 2 weeks and can play, but they'll play right away in a wild card series.
Yep.
And then what else? So I was watching highlights, and did you see Luis Garcia throw in his second start off of Tommy John surgery? He threw a pitch and then just called
Oh
to the
yeah.
dugout, pointed to his elbow, and didn't even take a warm up pitch.
That sucks.
And as of now, as we record this, the Mariners walked off last night and are now tied for first place in the AL West. So
Yeah.
that's when I said this injury really could there this was the close race that had an injury that could really mess it up.
Yes.
I think
But
momentum wise, the Mariners overtake them.
yeah, and they have been. That's the Mariners' MO like the past 3 seasons is they get the All-Star break and then they just turn it on. Um, that sucks, but at the same time, um, they still have four really good starters. Like you get that rotation in a series, a wild card series, that's going to be tough.
Oh boy, sign me all the way up for Friday's next weekend. Mariners at Astros.
Ugh, that's
So
gonna be
the
great.
Mariners go Angels, Royals, Astros, Rockies. Good for them. And they end with the Dodgers. So who knows where they'll be in the standings for that Dodgers series because both teams could potentially be playing for something if San Diego gets their act together, but they've been playing pretty terrible recently. Uh, I do have one thing to say. I was wrong a couple weeks ago when I said should Julio Rodriguez be on that top tier of stars, he is very good. And
Yeah.
and he's like the team. He starts slow, and every year I'm like, okay. And then you look at how he ends the year, and you're like, oh, okay, you were wrong about that.
Yeah. I mean, he's at he's pretty close to 30-30 right now. He's having a big year.
Speaking of 30-30, who had Juan Soto being a 30-30 player
I
on their
saw that
bingo
the other day.
card?
For all the shit that Juan Soto got piled on him for being good enough to sign a $765 million contract, his first year with the Mets, he's going 30-30. Like, I just don't. I mean, I know you're hoping for more, I guess, but at the same time, you're just like, I don't know what else he can do. Like,
Y- Yeah, and hoping for more is like no one has done what Otani did last year. And they're different players. That's just not
yeah,
how like Juan Soto approaches at bats.
he's
He's gonna
also
get
six
on a
years younger
ton.
than Otani.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. And I saw articles of your favorite thing, an unnamed scout
Yep.
or or front
Do you know
office
what
person
unnamed scout and unnamed front office person or unnamed source means made up?
said that he didn't think he was worth it because he doesn't add anything. He gives you good, doesn't add anything in the field and on the base path. Well, bud,
30-30.
30-30.
I
Very,
mean, and
very good baseball
speaking of the
player.
Mets, they are in the playoffs right now. Although that National League wild card, Tom, I think we might need to start paying a little attention to
Yeah, it's
because
getting
we
close
have,
at the bottom there.
yeah, Mets are up by 1.5 on both Cincinnati and San Francisco, and Arizona is in striking distance at 3. So that'll be fun. That'll be real fun.
Yeah. And then the Guardians made it interesting for a little bit in the AL, but now the Rangers are poking around. The Guardians are still 3.5 out.
Well, that's great. Like the AL West is separated by 2 games, and it's Houston and Seattle tied with the Rangers 2 games back. Like that's
Bummer
gonna
for,
be.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's gonna be another good race for the next 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, bummer Evaldi got hurt for the Rangers.
Yeah.
And my fantasy team right at playoff time,
Wow.
but no one cares about that. So the other news and notes, Anthony Rizzo retired, Red Sox draft pick, World Series champion with the
Cubbies.
Cubs. Uh, Good immaculate grid player. You know, he reached 300 homers. He's got a gold glove. These are things you need to know. He had a silver slugger. These are important things when you're playing immaculate grid.
Yep.
But was also a guy that a couple times that this year I was like, the Red Sox need a first baseman.
Won a
And he hadn't
platinum
retired
glove.
yet. He won the platinum glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yeah. And then unfortunately his last game is I still blame Cole, but that gaff at first base between Cole and Rizzo on the slow roller, I think
Yeah.
Cole should have covered.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but he had concussion problems at the end of his career, I think.
yeah, there was a collision at first, right? That
Yeah,
screwed
I
him
think
up.
so.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I just even when he was a Yankee, it was like, why do the Yankees have to sign guys I like?
Yeah, I know.
Just never a guy you didn't like. Was very funny. He has a great mic'd up moment with Freddie Freeman in a rundown, and he struck out Freddie Freeman, I believe. That was another
He,
good moment.
he did. And was it Anthony Rizzo who had the sunscreen in his back pocket during spring training? Was that him or was that Joey Votto? I
Oh,
remember
I thought it was hand sanitizer
Oh
during
yeah,
like
for
COVID.
COVID. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
great stuff. You know, you love a first baseman who, you know, just has a sense of humor, good guy that because you get good moments, they always see people over there. So he retired. Probably Hall of very good. That's a Did you know that's a Twitter account or a Instagram account, and they actually induct people? The parameters are like you can't be below a certain war or above a certain war, and then you can go in and
Is
players
the
acknowledge
icon
it.
is the icon for that account Harold Baines?
No, because he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, right.
Um,
Whoops. I'm
yeah,
guessing his war criteria falls in the good
probably.
because I think Ellie De La Cruz has a higher war right now. It's only been in the league for 2 years.
So the last thing I had until I made this yesterday in the afternoon. Um, Paul Skeens got to 200K, 200 strikeouts, 200 Ks, I should say. It's just it's so upsetting. He's just toiling with this offense.
Yeah, I mean, historically speaking, shout out to Sarah Lang for this, but no pitcher in their first 53 starts has an ERA lower than Paul Skeens at 1.92. The closest one is Hall of Famer Vita Blue, over 2. So just to give people an idea of how good Paul Skeens is, he is better than legitimately every starting pitcher through his first 53 games.
Yeah. Oh, wait, sorry. It's called Hall of Pretty Good. It's very funny. People like acknowledge it. It's great. Um, Skeens, it's I just hope it's not the Yankees or Dodgers in a couple years.
Yeah,
That's all I hope.
I mean, it's so funny this cycle that Pittsburgh is in,
Hmm.
which is draft a number one guy, get him good, get him up there, and then let him dominate, let him go to the All-Star game to represent your team. Hopefully they don't get hurt, and then make absolutely zero effort to keep them for long term. They'll
You
make
know,
more of an investment paying for his one of one ML debut patch than they will to keep
yeah.
him in Pittsburgh for his career.
So this actually that's a good little segue to something you don't know I'm going to bring up.
Oh boy.
I was listening to Rates and Barrels yesterday, and they had a discussion, which I thought was interesting, where it said they were saying, why are we rewarding teams with the number one pick for continuing to be bad? They said there should be some sort of compensation pick or something you get. These were just ideas they were throwing out. Some sort of comp pick you get for consistently making the playoffs because you're trying. Where you have the Pirates, who, I mean, AJ Burnett, Garrett Cole, hopefully not Paul Skeens, just a pipeline for the Yankees to get an ace, like over and over. It's such a good idea. And is it the NBA now doesn't let you like keep
Tank.
getting
They
the
have
highest odds?
anti-tanking measures.
Yeah. I just think
I mean, I
every
think it's
owner's
pretty
a
hard to tank in baseball. And it doesn't, and the top draft pick, like, unless you're Paul Skeens, doesn't necessarily work out to be a stud all the time.
right. But having the number one choice is a good thing.
Sure. I think,
And
I mean, like, you can look at, like, Henry Davis. Like, obviously, he's still young, but that's a one pick. Like, Spencer Torkelson is not a major, an MVP type player. Like, Henry Davis is the number one pick. He has a 0.8 WAR, and I'm guessing the only reason it's high, looking at his offensive numbers, is because he has a rocket for an arm behind the
yeah,
plate.
it's probably just helped by catching. But their point, and one that I don't completely disagree with, is the Pirates they're allowed to sign free agents. Like they were saying, if you're consistently trotting out like you're not making doing anything in the off season and you're not paying, I I'm just listen, the owners are billionaires. There's no salary cap. You can pay what you want to pay.
Yeah.
So it's just I actually think that I agree with maybe you win the division 3 years in a row, you get a comp pick, or you make the playoffs 3 years in a row. It's like you're trying. Thank you. Here's a comp pick.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Because teams in both central divisions, I guess if you exclude the Cubs, aren't like big market teams, but Milwaukee consistently does it.
Hmm.
They draft well, they sign well. So I I think that's a good idea. Or if you just do a DVR set and you actually have relegation.
Huh.
I as I get older, the more and more I'm like, that's not a bad idea in sports.
No, it's not. It's fun.
I it's super fun. And then yeah, like don't be surprised along those lines if next year I approach you and 8 to 9 other people and ask if they want to do one of those elimination fantasy football leagues
Oh, that'd
where
be cool.
the lowest point total gets axed every year, every week.
That'd be cool. But yeah,
But you there? You were saying something.
yeah, no,
Oh,
I don't know about, I don't know if that'll ever work. But no,
all right. So the other thing that happened last night um, is Judge moved into a tie with Joe DiMaggio on the Yankees all-time home run list. He now is 361 behind Ruth, Mantle, and Gehrig. And at the same time, breaking a long streak, Mike Trout homered to hit 399. So Trout will get to 400 this year if he stays healthy. And he has played the whole season, which is kind of bummed me out a little that these are his numbers after playing just missing like 25, 30 games. I am now convinced that in 2 years, Judge is just going to pass him on the all-time homer list. It's just going to happen.
yeah, it's gonna happen. That
Like, it's not going to happen where Judge is collecting stats. It's going to happen when he's still in his prime. And Trout is now in the collecting stats point of his career.
yeah.
And
I know, maybe he collects stats as the Red Sox right fielder next year or uh the DH.
well, it's funny. His war, Trout, his war is not good. And he has 21 homers. He's just not having, it's the injuries have gotten to him. He's he's on the decline. You can just say that.
Yeah.
Then if you go to American League on base percentage leaders, who's number 4? He still works walks. He strikes out way too much. But I keep looking at his stats and I'm like, you are just having the weirdest year. And when you watch his at bats, I can't tell you how many 3-2 counts he lets borderline pitches go where it's like, just foul that off and get a pitch to hit. And he just lets him go and gets called out on strikes.
I'm so bummed that his career is going to be marred by Artie Moreno
Yeah.
just not trying to field a team. And I know he signed him to a huge contract, and I know he got Otani from Japan. However, two offensive players who really, Mike Trout can't stay on the field, um, can't win you a championship. Like it's a bad team because they're spending so much money at the top. They don't. He's not a good team builder. He sees a star, Rendon, pool host,
Josh
and goes and
Hamilton,
overpays for him. Oh, good, yeah.
Vernon Wells.
It overpays for him like crazy. And it's just like, all right, well, I see the efforts there. But you've done nothing else to your roster. You still have, all of these guys who are not a championship roster.
And in defense of the contract, at the time it was the highest, but that was 26-year-old Mike Trout for
Yeah,
400 and what 60 million.
needed to get
That
done.
yes. Like the other as it was happening, then Mookie signed and it was like, okay, Mookie should be just under Trout. That makes sense in the lineage of who's best. And then Machado, Harper, it like all fell in line. It made total sense. He got hurt and they did shit around him.
Yep.
Otani, I totally agree with you. And this is why I defend Trout when he has 3 playoff games under his belt. There actually is no sport where one single player can change things less because
Hmm.
you can hit 50 home runs, 45 home runs, win an MVP on a last place team, which he's done multiple times. And
Yep.
Shohei Otani did on the Angels.
Hmm.
But, anyways, I just, Judge is ridiculous, is what the
Yep.
whole point of this is. He started 4 years later or 5 years later and is just, he was hurt at the beginning of his career too.
Yeah.
Now he's healthy all the time, and it's the best. I don't like the Yankees, but I want Judge to be healthy.
Yeah, we've said that over and over.
And that's it for news. I think that's going to be the new thing now. And then we'll end with the Red Sox, have a little Red
Oh,
Sox
wow.
dessert.
Yeah.
So Wilyer Abreu has started running. They expect him back next weekend against the A's. Jack might have COVID, everyone. So if you're
No,
watching on
two
YouTube,
negative
sorry.
tests. Two
Oh,
negative
okay.
tests.
Then he just has influenza.
Yep. I'm sick.
Um, so Wilyer Abreu, that is someone they should get back quickly. And that's great for their defense
Yep.
and an added bat while you just sit around and wait and hope Roman Anthony gets back for the wild card round.
I
Uh,
mean, I hope they get both of them back in time. I mean, what sucks with the Roman thing is he was just figuring out his power swing at the big league level. He took Skeens deep. We knew he killed velocity, but then to get hurt with an oblique injury, it's just like, ugh, that's gonna be such a bummer. And like I get the motivation of Alex Cora saying, like, just visualize that first at bat in the ALCS. Like, that's great. However, you got to score more runs to get to the ALCS right now. And
yeah.
that's my biggest concern is without, and Abreu is like, what is he at? 260, 250. So he's like, he's not just going to murder you with hits, but he does have a knack for playing clutch, and his defense is so much better. Or the whole defense outfield wise is so much better when he's in right. Um, I hope he's back soon. Again, I think he's had kind of an up and down season with both injuries and just being like hot and cold.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw some stats. Someone that quietly has struggled after his injury is Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
Um, he, yeah, just he was so good in the first half, and right now he's just not the same player. So let's see his second half stats. Let me update him here on Fangraphs. 257, 5 home runs, 22 RBI. Just he's someone they need to get right for the last 2 weeks here if they
Yeah.
want to advance. We talked about this weekend series is against the Yankees. They're currently a half game behind them in the wild card. You mentioned Giolito pitches Friday, Bayo pitches Saturday, Crochet pitches Sunday. That's it. That's who, not in that order, but that's who's pitching the wild card round.
Yeah.
So this is huge. It's like you can't stress how big this is for the Red Sox right now. It's
Nope.
at home. The If you win this series and then go into the Athletics series, that could just clinch clinch the playoffs for you. If you can win the next two series. You've dominated the Yankees all year long. Don't change that starting now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they I don't know, but you and I both had there's just scars and scars and scars, even though since the mid 2000s, early 2000s, the Red Sox have had more success than the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's still there.
I know.
And you know who scares shit out of me? I mentioned Giancarlo Stanton. Trent Grisham just has that lefty swing that I feel like is going, maybe not the same at Fenway, but
True.
still.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's going to be huge. I think I'm excited to watch it. I can't wait to watch September baseball like this. It's been a while since the Red Sox. I mean, 2021 they made the playoffs, but um, I don't think you and I were fooled by that team. But yeah, it's going to be awesome, and especially Crochet on Sunday. Just
mhm.
eat them up, eat them the fuck up.
So recently, the Red Sox have had two lefties debut,
Yep.
Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was not aware of your game to both of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Peyton
I,
totally came out of nowhere.
yeah, and he dominated his first game. He struggled his second game, was a little better against the A's. I and I did not know who Connolly Early was. I saw that. I saw Red Sox stats got back in the game. He took a little hiatus after the Devers
He
trade. I
did
don't
not. Apparently, he did not handle the Devers trade
no.
well. But glad to have you back,
He
stats.
yeah, he took some time off. But he started talking about his fastball and how it was different from Peyton Tolley. Well, he had a billion swing and misses, struck out 11 through 5 in his debut, which tied a Red Sox record. It it led to you asking me the question, when did the Red Sox get all these awesome lefty prospects? To which I responded, is it time to give Chaim Bloom his due? Because he came in and I was critical of him. Don't get me wrong, I was critical of him. He came in here and they said, build up our um, farm system. And he did because he drafted both those guys. He drafted Mayer, he drafted Anthony, he drafted Campbell. He signed Garrett Whitlock in the Rule 5 draft. It's he traded for Wilyer Abreu. I it's noticeable. Also Kyle Teal, which ended up getting you Garrett Crochet.
Yeah. No.
You still know?
Yeah. No. You can draft
So
all
my,
those guys. You can evaluate talent like that, but it's the major leagues. They still have to be developed in the different levels. I don't think with me saying Peyton Tolley came out of nowhere, nobody expected him to pump 100 in his debut and strike out 11 guys. Or however many he struck out. And nobody expected Connolly Early to come up. I didn't even know Connolly Early's name until he started. And then for him to come up and strike out 11 and tie the franchise record for a debut, that's crazy. Like, and again, Tolley has leveled out from his debut. Um, he makes a lot of pitches that look like trying to spot that, or are you just trying to blow a major league guy away? Because
which
that's
isn't
not going
going
to
to
happen
happen.
every time. Yeah. So I think both of them look good early, but I mean, no, I get that John Henry is signing the checks and ultimately making the decisions, but Bloom had to go, and it was the right move to let him go.
Yeah. I guess my question should have been phrased different. Should he get less of the hate for not signing free
Yeah.
agents because we're now seeing that with Craig
Yes.
Breslow too because they won't sign the price.
Yeah,
They
but
won't.
we've talked about that too. I think
Yeah.
Craig Breslow is more plugged into A, talent development, and B, I think he's a better fit just because he had major league experience. Um, However, we look at some of his pitching philosophies, and you're just like, well, the fastball's a good pitch. It's still the best pitch in baseball.
I think they're kind of getting away from that with
Yeah,
certain guys that have that fastball. Like,
right.
I forget who was talking about it. I think it might have been Merloni, was just like, you're not telling Aroldis Chapman not to throw his fastball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things where like 2013 happened, and then by 2015, everyone wanted to hang Ben Sherrington. And then you look at the team that was put together in 2018, and you're like, wow, all these homegrown guys were Ben Sherrington. I think Boston is so results based immediately that sometimes a few years down the road, you're like, oh, this team's awesome. Great job, Craig Breslow, with the guys that Chaim Bloom got you. Just one of those things. That's all.
No, I get it. I get it.
So, and we quickly forgot that they said we want the Red Sox to have a strong farm system. So, yeah, it's I whoever did it, thank you for the great young players. And who knows what early and Tolley will be. But
Yeah.
the final
Uh,
thing is I did see as I was laying in bed last night that they're going to sign a GM. They don't
oh,
have one. They have like
yeah.
four assistant GMs.
And a president of baseball operations, which is, I guess, a title.
Yeah, so they have the president and then which is Breslow and then a bunch of assistant GMs, which is interesting because they have to ask permission to get another GM since it's a lateral move. They can just hire and interview any assistant GM or lower, but if there's a guy who has the title of general manager on a Major League Baseball team now, they have to just they have to ask permission, and usually the other presidents of baseball operations don't allow that to happen. But Jack, your camera turned off, so I'm assuming you're going through a bit of a coughing spell now. We can call it. You have
Yeah,
a tea
sorry.
time.
I do have a tea
Uh,
time, but I don't think I'm going to make my tea time because I feel like crap. But
okay. Well, you go have a nice hot tea and get some sleep,
thank you.
and yeah, maybe I'll see you Sunday.
Okay, bye, Tommy.